Hey everyone, how's it going? So what am I working on now? Well, I got a 2011 Hyundai Sonata. You may recall this car from about a week ago. This is the one that blew the tranny line off, and the fluid level was non-existent in the transmission. And I even said that, hey, that's usually not a good sign. But I took it for a ride and everything, it shifted fine, it shifted great. Everything seemed fine. However, he drove it and he said it's progressively starting to show signs of something's wrong. So he brought it in and he wants me to take a look at it. It's got 142,271 miles on it. Like I said, it's a 2011 and it's got the 2.4 liter direct injected motor. So I got my scanner hooked up to it now and it's just doing a scan of the whole system. So let's see what codes it actually has. So here, let's just see the report. Like I said, this way I could send it to myself. Just makes life easier. Now, a gear ratio error code will be the last thing we want to see. Gear 4 incorrect gear ratio. Or gear 4 incorrect ratio. That's not good. What's the other code here? Weight classification system has to do with the passenger seat. Okay, we're not worried about that, but we're going to save this report. I'm going to share it. I'm going to email it to myself. And send. All right. So, unfortunately, I'll tell you right now, 734 incorrect gear ratio. I will look it up real quick, but I can tell you this. Anytime you have a gear ratio error code like that, so this is probably a 6-speed automatic, if I'm not mistaken. A gear ratio error code in one single gear means that the input speed versus the output speed is incorrect. Meaning it should see, like, let's say, I don't know, a 3-to-1 ratio, and now all of a sudden it sees a 4-to-1 ratio because it's slipping. Then it'll throw a code. My ratios may be off, just so you have a general idea. But it's not seeing the correct ratio. Now, if I saw gear ratio errors in gear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that, I would say let's look at the speed sensors. Very possibly you got a speed sensor issue, but when it's a single gear like this, 99 times out of 100 it's an internal failure. The fact that this thing ran out of fluid, a couple things could happen. When they run out of fluid, you can burn up a clutch pack very easily. Snap rings, because what happens is if you've ever run water, if you've ever lost power at your house or wherever you live, and you go to flush the toilet and you run the water out, and then when the water comes back and you go to like flush the toilet again, sometimes you get that goosh 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 of the water coming through because the water's airbound. Well, picture this, in a transmission you have the same thing. It gets airbound. So when clutches actually have to come together to apply, let's just say it moves like this to apply from fluid pressure, now all of a sudden it's going smack, 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 smack. What happens is there's snap rings that hold things in place. The snap rings can break, crack, or the retaining ridge that's inside the case itself or inside the drum itself, the retaining ridge can get beat up and the snap rings slide out. So, like I said, 99 times out of 100, it is an internal failure. It's mind-boggling how many times that's the case when it's a single or two gears. I'm just going to look this up real quick just to see what I come up with, but I'm pretty sure of what I'm talking about here. So, sorry, that kind of threw me a little bit. All right, let's unplug this and let's go to the computer and see what I can come up with. Okay, so quick check, and basically pretty much what I said. There's nothing here that's going to point me to like a solenoid failure or something like that. So here's what they say. Let me show you real quick. It says, this code is set where the input speed sensor value is different than a TCM operation value caused by control valve sticking, solenoid valve fault. Possibly, okay. Most of the fault is mechanical, rarely is an electrical fault. Meaning that the computer doesn't know the difference between like a sticking valve or anything like that. So this is the strategy for what it's looking for. This is the detecting conditions, and this is the possible cause. Input speed sensor fault, well, we know it's not that, because if it had an input speed sensor fault, we'd have other issues. Output speed sensor fault. If it was output speed sensor, we would have other issues. Clutch slip and transmission. There you go. That's pretty much it. So we know for a fact, I know for a fact that there's something damaged inside the transmission, especially since this thing had no fluid in it when it came in. So unfortunately, we're looking at a transmission. There's really nothing more I can do here. I'm not going to go through testing everything. There's just no point to it. So, all right, that's going to end this one. All right, hopefully you're getting something out of my videos. If you are, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, guys, have a great day. Keep wrenching.